Aloha kako, mahalo for joining us today. We will begin with a pule from Commissioner Ornelas.
Mahalo, Chair. Epule kako. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful day. We thank you for the beautiful weather and the light traffic. We thank you for our health and strength that we're able to gather together as family and friends this day and to put our hearts and minds to the matters before us on today's agenda. Heavenly Father, we ask thee for mental clarity and for clean hearts and for pure intents to take care of the matters that we need to decide on today. We ask thee for a special blessing on our chair, on our commissioners, certainly on our staff who are presenting this day and those who are in the offices, that they may have good health and that they may continue to do the good work. Heavenly Father, when we depart this day, we ask thee to bless us in wherever we are headed next and protect us in safety. We acknowledge your hand in all things and ask for your continued guidance and direction. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Okay, the meeting of the Hawaiian Homes Commission is called to order. The meeting is being held virtually on Zoom and in person at Haleponui 91-5420 Kapolei Parkway, Kapolei. While Carly Watson, Chairman of the Commission. Today's date is Monday, June 15, 2026. Time is 9:34. Leah, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Freitas.
Here.
Commissioner Kalekini should be joining us later. Commissioner Kalepa by Zoom. And he's muted, but I saw him say aye. Commissioner Kaneakua.
Aye.
Commissioner Lasua.
Aye.
Commissioner Marfil.
Ew.
Commissioner Namuo also joining us by Zoom. Commissioner Ornelas. Chair Watson.
Here.
8 members present. We have a quorum.
Okay, let's see, approval of the agenda items.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, item C1, resolution for Makai Freitas. Commissioner Kanekua, will you read the resolution?
With pleasure, Chair. Hawaiian Homes Commission Resolution Number 312, honoring Makai K.O. Moku Crowningberg Freitas for his service to the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Whereas Makai Keomoku Crowningberg Freitas was appointed to the Hawaiian Homes Commission on January 17th by Governor Josh Green, and whereas Commissioner Freitas was born to Lenaala and Rockney Crowningberg Freitas and was raised in Manoa, Oahu. And whereas Commissioner Freitas is married to Aulani Freitas, and together they're proud parents of 2 daughters, Wailea and Mahina. And whereas Commissioner Freitas earned a Bachelor of Arts and Science degree from the University of Arizona, go Sun Devils, go Wildcats, where he attended, and where he attended from 1996 to 2001, demonstrating a commitment to higher education and personal achievement that would later inform his advocacy for education opportunity and student success. And whereas while attending the University of Arizona, Commissioner Freitas distinguished himself as a student athlete on the university's football program, earning recognition through his dedication, discipline, teamwork, and leadership, both on and off the field. And whereas Commissioner Freitas's accomplishments as a collegiate football player led to his signing as a free agent with the Oakland Raiders in 2002, reflecting the determination and work ethic that have characterized his professional and public service career. And whereas Commissioner Freitas serves as the chair of ILWU Unit 1201 Big Island Stevedores and has represented longshore workers through collective bargaining, contract enforcement, legislative advocacy, and efforts to improve the working conditions and quality of life of Hawaii's workforce. And whereas Commissioner Freitas has demonstrated a deep commitment to community service through youth mentorship and coaching, including many years as a football and track coach, helping to guide and inspire Hawaii's youth both on and off the field. And whereas Commissioner Freitas has also served in leadership roles within civic and political organizations, including service as vice chair and recently chair of the Democratic Party of Hawaii. And whereas Commissioner Freitas brought to the Hawaiian Homes Commission a practical perspective grounded in hard work, community values, and a steadfast commitment to improving opportunities for Native Hawaiian beneficiaries. And whereas Commissioner Freitas provided dedicated leadership through his service as chair of the Geothermal Permitted Interaction Group, where he guided the Commission's review of complex energy development issues affecting Hawaiian homelands, facilitated through dialogue among stakeholders, and worked to ensure that beneficiary interests remained at the forefront of Commission deliberations. And whereas Commissioner Freitas further served as the Act 279 Permitted Interaction Group, contributing to the implementation of historic initiatives intended to accelerate beneficiary awards, expand opportunities for Native Hawaiian families, and advance the department's mission to return beneficiaries to the land. And whereas Commissioner Freitas concludes his service on the Hawaiian Homes Commission on June 30th, 2026, to continue his distinguished record of public service through his appointment as a regent of the University of Hawaii and his ongoing leadership within the state of Hawaii. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the undersigned, duly recognized as the chair and members of the Hawaiian Homes Commission, do set forth their signatures in recognition of Commissioner Makai K.C. Freitas and his service to the legacy of Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalanianaole and the thousands of beneficiaries of the Hawaiian Homes Act, adopted this day, the 15th of June, 2026, at Hale Ponui, Kapolei, Oahu, State of Hawaii, by the Hawaiian Homes Commission in a regular meeting assembled hereby.
Like to, as a small token of our appreciation for your service to the department, it's not something that I guess is worth a lot. It really is a symbol of, just what this whole program is about. And I think it signifies the challenges that we have in this program. The canoe more as a symbol of our journey, trying to uplift the Lahui through a program that's faced a lot of challenges. And it's noted here on the back, e la hoe mai na va'a ike ka, ika hoe, ika hoe, ika ka, pae aku ika aina. And the translation, pretty straightforward. Paddle together, bail, paddle, paddle, bail, paddle towards the land. When you do that together as a group, that's one of the things I like to do. I like to go out canoe surfing, and a real key in making and succeeding in moving that canoe is everybody paddling together in sync and together. And what's also key is the leadership as well as the guidance. Whatever seat you're in on that canoe, you all have a particular, responsibility or kuleana. And so but most important is a tool to make that canoe move forward, which is the paddle. So as you go through life, as you become a regent for the University of Hawaii, which I'm very thankful that you are now in a position to further our program, because we've got a lot of things I want to do with the university. See some lands right up the street here that we're looking at, so in any event, you know, again, Makai, I'd really like to thank you. You weren't here long enough, but you were here during a period when we had a lot of challenges, and you really stepped up to the plate, provided guidance in a lot of areas that are very, very challenging. You made the tough decisions, and we all appreciate it. Mahalo.
Comments first or commissioners?
Let's start with the commissioners first before we have Makai say anything. We'll go down the row. Commissioner Lasua.
Like to thank this commission giving Makai his award for being a commissioner. And I appreciate his helping me out on some of the issues that we have talked about and benefits for our beneficiaries. And I hope he on his future endeavor with the region, I hope he continues that for everyone in the state of Hawaii. Thank you, Mark.
Makai, I appreciate your strength, not just your physical strength, which is obvious to everyone who stands anywhere near you, but your strength on the issues, your advocacy for our beneficiaries during very contentious and tough decision-making is conspicuous, not simply on Hawaii Island and the issues that we face there, some of the challenges that we have for our beneficiaries, but as a whole, as we try to move forward in these very challenging times where we're trying to make up for so much that may have been done or should have been done earlier. You stand at the forefront as you help lead us. And for that, I say mahalo. We will miss you. Being demoted to being a regent at the University of Hawaii instead of being a commissioner on this commission, my condolences, but you, young man, are set for tremendous success in helping our people here in the state. Mahalo nui.
Yeah.
Oh, Hoku. Okay, go ahead.
I remember when you joined and I was at the time working at the department instead of as an AG, and I remember just the inquisitiveness and the questions you asked about things that were going on in the department at the time. And I just thought, wow, you know, this guy's gonna be an asset to the commission, and you really were. So thank you for your service and good luck.
Makai, you are a masterful explainer. I just approached 11 months as being your newest commissioner representing the island of Kauai. And Makai is truly gifted in being able to take complex ideas and projects and propositions and really making it very easy to understand in layman's terms, but more for someone who doesn't have the institutional knowledge. He has been such an asset in my 11 months. Makai, I'm so excited that you're joining the UH system. I really think they need someone like you who has the courage to take on the difficult tasks, but also with the skill set and most especially the no nonsense attitude that we talked about last month. It really will serve you well, and I think it really has. I'm just incredibly saddened that we only had 11 months together. But I wish you so much success in this new capacity and in others, because I know there's much more for you on the horizon. Mahalo.
Thank you.
So we've been joking around since we heard that Makai was leaving us, looking for the hardest cases to bring forth today and tomorrow before he leaves. But really, just congratulations. We look forward to all the work that you will be doing in your new capacity. We love your servitude attitude and your continued perseverance to just work tirelessly for the Lahui. So aloha nui, mahalo nui.
Okay, how about Commissioner Kalepa?
Archie, you're muted.
Makai, I just want to thank you for your service, and I've I watch and kind of try to follow you, and especially with issues concerning the geothermal on the Big Island, and your willingness to take the lead and shed light on the issues, the hard issues surrounding that. And I just can't say enough about how lucky we were to have you on the Commission for Hawaiian Homes, especially at this time. And I want to congratulate you on joining the University of Hawaii, the region of University of Hawaii. And I know you're going to do good for all of Hawaii in your new role. And we continue to look forward to working with you in partnership with Hawaiian Homes and the university, just like Chair said. And I wish you all the luck in your new endeavors, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for your service. Aloha.
Commissioner Namuo?
Aloha, Makai. No, you are an excellent role model to our youth. Intelligent, educated, contributing member of service to our community and our future. And I join Commissioner Kalepa in congratulating you in taking the lead for geothermal, which I think is our future. We will miss you very much.
Commissioner Kalekini?
Hey, Makai. Man. Tell you what, gonna get plenty aunties missing you. Yeah, I was like going out with you to go meet with some of our beneficiaries, Waimea, wherever. And hey, listen, I'm sure we'll keep in touch. We'll see you around. I do want to say appreciate and thank you for your service on the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Hoping that you was gonna stay longer, but congrats on your appointment to the regents, the Board of Regents, and we'll keep in touch, brother. Mahalo.
Okay, why don't we go to staff? Katie, you want to say a few words? Our Deputy Director?
Hi, Makai. Just really short. You came to the commission and you were really thrown into it. And what I appreciated was that you really asked questions and you paid attention and you listened to your community, and you always, when you wanted to talk through an issue, you were there, you listened, and you always exemplified really good judgment in everything that you did. You took everything very seriously as a commissioner. And I think those traits are going to serve you well at the UH. And so congratulations. And as some other people said, we really need you there too. So I know it's hard, we're going to miss you, but it's always good to see a really smart Hawaiian with a good head on his shoulders and other institutions that we're going to be working with too. So congratulations.
Okay, how about our Executive Assistant, Richard Holt?
Mahalo, Makai, for all your hard work. I liked working with you. You asked a lot of difficult questions and you always, well, not always, but you would ask us to do many favors. But I enjoyed your dedication and you represented your area very well. Thank you very much for your service.
Okay, let's see, how about Juan Garcia?
First of all, congratulations, Commissioner, on your appointment. It's always awkward for me talking to you because you're so tall and I'm not as tall. But I appreciate every phone call, every email, every text message I received from you because you are always willing, despite the issues that comes up, you are always willing to find a solution, working with staff in finding that solution. And I want to mahalo you on behalf of HSD, your support and advocacy for staff. We will miss you, surely. We will miss you, but we wish you well in your endeavor with UH. Hopefully, I'll be able to work side by side with you in that capacity. But again, from the bottom of my heart, mahalo, brother. Love you. God bless you.
Yeah, Kahana, you kind of worked with him a lot more, so.
Just to echo what everybody said, brother. And as I mentioned to you before, bro, that's another one for the Hawaiians up there. If anything, you got my contact number. I always be there for support. Mahalo again, brother. Aloha nui.
Kalani.
Aloha, Commissioner. You know, unlike Kahana, when I give you a hug, I'm hugging your waist. But mahalo for serving in your capacity as a commissioner. It was, you know, one of the things you always wanted to find out was what were the facts. And so always asking more and more and doing that research. And on behalf of the department, I mean, and on behalf of the division, Land Development Division, we thank you for an honor to be able to work with you. I will miss those phone calls and text messages. Said, sorry about it. It's a Sunday, but I don't want question for you. No worries. And yep, you know, as others had said, at any time, I once again congratulate you on your new appointment and mahalo for all that you do. Aloha.
So Commissioner Freitas, just again, thank you for your service. You know, Big Island, you have a very passionate, assertive group of beneficiaries over there. So I know that you had your hands full, a lot of challenges in front of you that you always took on. We do appreciate all the support that you gave to, you know, our unit, myself. And as everybody said, you know, optically, you heard his athletic resume. It's easy to look at him and kind of put him in a box and think, oh, this is going to be another jock. But no, Makai's very insightful. He always gave good perspective and a lot of practical solutions, which I always appreciated. So, you know, good luck on your next endeavor. I know you're going to do awesome over there and you have all the skills to really make a difference. So thank you for your service.
Commissioner Freitas, on behalf of Information and Community Relations Office, unfortunately, our public information officer is indisposed this morning. She couldn't make it, but she does send her regards. But we do want to mahalo you for all of your service here. It's been a real pleasure and honor to work with you. And I hope you appreciate all the camera angles we got on you because you're good looking, you know, so we got you on the camera, planning. So, but we just wanted to say the very best to you, best of luck. In all of your future endeavors. Take care. God bless.
Commissioner Freitas, all of his calls and text messages start with "Don't be mad," especially his text messages, and then whatever happens comes next. But I appreciate you being on the commission and all the time that you spent with us in service of our beneficiaries. So thank you. Good luck.
Commissioner Freitas.
You know, I was planning on writing something out, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna wing it, speak from the heart. Thank you all for your help. Thank you all for your mana'o. Thank you for everything you guys did to help me grow as a person. The people who mentioned the text messages and calls, yeah, and I try not to call or text after a certain time because I know it's like your family and dinner and stuff. But like you know, David was saying, there are a lot of passionate, intelligent people in my district that you know want answers, have questions that oftentimes I needed to lean on people to get more information on. So thank you guys for all your help. Thank you for kind of digging deep and allowing me to have those levels of conversation with you guys to give myself more information, you know, to either pass on to the beneficiaries or if just for my own mana'o, so I could formulate my own opinions and my own thought process. As far as explanation, yeah, I try to explain it well so I can understand it myself. It's kind of my way of explaining everything. You know, yeah, it was an honor to serve this capacity. There are a lot of tough decisions that have to be made, and I did my best to educate myself with the information that was available, and get a variety of different perspectives on whatever we were dealing with, and try to make my decisions based on the information that was presented. You know, Chair, thank you for everything. I think the canoe analogy is something I use in my everyday life. You know, it's a team effort. Like you said, everybody has their kuleana based on whatever seat they're in. And, you know, when everybody's paddle is hitting the water at the same time, that thing takes off. When the timing is off and everybody's not on the same page, it's like you're, you know, towing a truck around the ocean. Just in closing real fast, I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional on this, and I'm trying my hardest not to. And thank you everybody for making the speech. Speech is very quick. You know, education is a key piece in our Native Hawaiian rehabilitation. That's a key piece. And our people moving forward. So as I take on this new capacity, there is definitely relationships that have been built in this room, and those are relationships that will continue to grow. You know, I'm not ever going to change my phone number or my email. So please, I look forward to working with each and every one of you in this room, beneficiaries included. There's a lot that the university needs to do, you know, on different levels to help our Native Hawaiians progress. So just want to say thank you very much. Auntie Homie, I see you smiling over there. Thank you for everything too. Yeah, I look forward to working with you folks in the future.
I did want to give the beneficiaries an opportunity, if they want, to come up and say a few words. If not, we'll entertain a motion. Oh, excuse me, Commissioner Korea. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity. Makai came in when I was a former commissioner, and you know, he was amazing because he was so tall and big, and we were like, whoa, so intimidated. But he's such a soft spoken person, but you know, he would read and research and ask us questions. We had a really good team, Makai, and I know you're so passionate with the Big Island. When we flew up the Big Island, you hosted the commission and your beneficiaries so graciously at the meeting room, and we were hungry because nobody served food that night. But you know, you and your ohana was so gracious to all of us, Makai. We wish you luck. Congratulations on being the chair of the Democratic Party, your new venture on UH region, and I know you do so good. And God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. Aloha.
Thank you. Homie?
Aloha kakayaka. So, I've always referred to Commissioner Freitas as my jolly green giant because he is a giant of a man, but he has such a gentle soul. And over the years, I know that this has been quite overwhelming to sit in the seat that you're sitting at. And so I hope that as you leave, that you take everything that you've learned not only from those who sit beside you, but from those who sit in front of you and beyond. So mahalo, mahalo, Pia, for all of your service, your time, your energy. Kia koapu. Aloha.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 312.
So move.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay. We'll have a quick recess for picture taking.
Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Shit.
Back into session. Are there any edits or comments for the May 18th and 19th, 2026 commission meeting minutes? No? Okay. If not, can I get a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public testimony on agendized items. First up, Walter Walker, item G1.
It's the same one.
Right, okay, so first off, thank you guys for having me here. Makai, congratulations. I work with Makai, we work together along Shawman. So what you have in front of you is basically just the details of everything. So the reason why I'm here today is for Kaupea Park and Rec Committee. So we've been through this over and over and over. When I say that, I'm talking about all the way back 20 years ago, we all got over at our home. So my home, I am the original owner. It was passed from my mom. My mom is not here today. She passed away already. But I feel, now I know what it feels like to be on Hawaiian and be on a homestead. It's people like me, right? With the voice, I try to do my best, right? But for speak up for our community. And 20 years ago, you guys have promised us on parking on rec. We get the document, we see it. If you go online, you're going to still see Kaupea Homestead Park and Rec. 3 acre rec center, 6 acre park. And we've been to meetings way back, you know what I mean, since then. First, it was told to us from DHHL, no more budget, no more funds. And when we did the history, I see minutes back in 2004. That's the same thing what DHHL was looking for, funds. I think we get funds now. The lot's still empty. I went to that meeting, but the whole 20 years, we canvassed the whole couple there, the Kaupea. We walked, we got signatures for who still wants a park and rec. And I don't know, we got like 200 something signatures. So we've been to you guys' meetings, we've been to HHFTC meeting, we've been to VOCA's meeting, we've been to all the meetings. Now you fast forward, okay? So you got Jovi and then Ayala and then now Kale Watson. So couple last month I got on beneficiary council one card, right? The meeting, the DHHL meeting. We go to that meeting only to find out 61 homes has been awarded on the 9-acre lot. 61 homes. Small park for them. Kaupea, us, the original Kaupea, Puka, nothing. Just like that. So I spoke at that meeting. Kale Watson was there. The developers was there. And if you really think about it, 20 years of fighting for something that was promised to us, then you fast forward to today, just to just go away and get told, oh, you're not gonna get nothing. Like that's basically what it was. So what I'm saying is you gotta do what's right by our community. Kids walking past, going across that highway to go all the way to Village of Kapolei for one park when it was promised to us park and rec. So you got the history in front of you, detailed out, because that's in detail. But I cannot read off paper. I just gonna go off of what I feel. So we had solutions way back then, smaller Kapuna homes, 3-acre park, rec or something with a park. But now we get cluster boxes. We want to relocate that. That's why I always tell my community it's very important. We got to fight for that 9-acre. You guys want to build the 61 family homes? What about shortening them? 30 homes or something. They're giving us the 3 acres. Or maybe cutting them in half. I don't know, 4.5, right? Smaller Kapuna homes like the one in Wamanalo. It's meeting you halfway. I mean, I think you should do what's right. 20 years we fight for this, and we're still fighting. New faces, and then we got to come back to this over and over and over again. So you move forward with this, and I'm going to be honest with you, okay? You move forward with this, develop them. I'm going to be out there every night and every day. I'm going to bring people out there. I'm going to bring communities out there. I'm going to bring unions out there. And I'm going to bring the media out there. And that's on promise. I am a longshoreman, okay? So this is what we do for our people, our community. You seen them. We out there. Mauna Kea was out there. Maui Fire was out there. I was out there in Wailua, digging mud. Nobody in this room was out there digging mud. But that's just what we do. We go to work. We care for our family. We do what's right? And we fight for our community. So I'm saying, you relocate them, the 61 family homes, relocate them. My own flesh and blood got awarded one house, and I told him about this. So he good, you know what I mean? He understand how I am. So all I'm saying is relocate them, and then bring us back to the table. Park and Rec Committee, let's talk story. Bring the developers, DHHL, and myself and the Park Committee. We can talk about this. We want a rec center, relocate our cluster boxes, and we need parking for our boats, just like Princess Kahano. If they can have them, we can have them. The lot is there. It's still empty. You guys have the funds. We just do what's right by your community. It was on promise. That was just selling ticket to us 20 years ago to buy into Kaupea. It was passed down from my mom to me. So she's not here no more. So all my strength and passion come from her. Dig deep. So you gotta do what's right. I only speak for my community in Kaupea. That's it. I know you guys get your hands tight. There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot going on. And we don't like the media involved. That's why I'm here. talk to me. I'm the park committee. I represent Calpea. We have other people's here, park committee too. They're gonna speak too. And it's very, very upsetting, about 20 years, all the work we do. Chairman step in, bye-bye, everything goes. Unbelievable. That's unacceptable to me, right? So just do us right. At least meet us halfway. At least have a conversation with us. And we can talk about how we can build this together as one. We're not saying, oh, you know what, out of hell with them, we like the whole thing. Don't get me wrong, but that was my first thinking. Go to one meeting, get one slap in the face, you guys not gonna get nothing. So in my brain, right? Just like that. Oh, you might as well just fight for the whole thing back then. But best solution, right? Work with us. Relocate or chop them in half, 4.5. They get their 4.5. You guys gonna build homes, put Kanakas in the homes. Okay, all good. Relocate the rest to the Croc Center side, add them onto the other 700. Then at least you know you can correct one wrong, at least. At least you can fulfill one promise to one community. Then Calpea would be good. We're gonna be good. Because that's what you guys showed us. And it's on the plans, Park and Rec. And if you go online, it is still there today. It's online, Calpea, Park and Rec. So that's all I'm gonna be speaking about. And you're gonna see me coming to meetings and meetings and meetings. And it's gonna keep going on and on and on. And if you develop and you go on, I'll be there. And I'll be there with support. And we'll bring the media. I will bring the media. We'll bring the media.
Thank you.
That's all? Good?
Yeah, your testimony is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next witness, Milo Maltby, item G1.
Hi, good morning. Milo Mopney, homeowner, me and my wife. I would just like to add on what Brother Walter was saying. The 9-acre lot was promised from the very beginning. And I don't know what happened with the communication or with the development after that. But I am here today and we have been on our feet. We did all the footwork, we did all the paperwork that was asked during all the processing, and it was still never given to us. You guys talk about family, compassion, and, you know, understanding, and you guys are paddling together. But, you know, we want to know what we can get out of that with the park and the rec center. And I know there's another park and rec center in Kapolei, but it's not easy to get to for our keiki. There is no stop sign at the edge of that Hawaiian code to get across Kapolei Parkway to get to the rec center. There is no stop sign for our keiki, and it hasn't been there for 17, 18 years. We did talk about it before. They told us to go to the state. We went to the state and they still never got there, but the 9-acre lot is what we are here for, and that's what our keiki are here for. We didn't get it during our time. Our generation might not have fun with it, but our keiki can, and their keiki after it can, and that's what we want, and that's what we're gonna fight for. And that's all you know, I'm here for. And I appreciate you guys giving me my home over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next testifier, Kenna Sommer Gibson on E1.
Aloha, commissioners. Is my video able to go on? I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure. Let's see.
You should be able to.
Okay. Oh, Okay, well, you guys can hear me. Integrated camera. Stop. For some reason. Okay. Well, um, it's not a thing on your end, Leah.
No, you're a co-host, so you should be able to enable your camera.
Ah, hey. Oh, shoot. There we go. Okay. Well, thank you for your patience. Thank you, commissioners. I'm actually testifying today from Kapa'a, Kauai, where I have been speaking with residents of courtyards at Waipoli for the past few days. The lawsuit, as you probably aren't following all the details of it, but it has been transferred to Kauai. So last week, Judge Kimura on Oahu said, this is really more appropriate for this to be tried on Kauai. So we are waiting this week. It should be assigned a Kauai judge, and we are still waiting a hearing on the injunction request. And just to be clear, the request is that the relocation process be halted due to Hawaiian Homelands not following federal laws with the Uniform Relocation Act. And speaking to dozens of residents, it's very clear that Hawaiian Homes, or DHHL in particular, is not following the Uniform Relocation Act. Residents are being given 90-day notices to vacate without being shown comparable apartments. They're being shown, here's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath when they're currently in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Or here's something that's actually no longer available on Zillow, or this is a 6-month lease, but a 6-month lease, according to URA, it needs to be a 1-year lease. Several residents have said, hey, I found my own comparable apartment, but this new apartment is, let's say, $500 more than what I'm currently paying. According to the Uniform Relocation Act, they are to be given 42 months of the difference. So, 42 times 500 would be about what, $21,000? And so far the department is saying, sorry, we don't have the budget. So this is a problem, because for the department to say we don't have the budget to meet federal requirements shows that this was not well thought out, not well vetted, and is now legally violating federal law. And this is a concern, and it continues to happen. It has not stopped in spite of petitions, testimonies, and now 4 individual lawsuits moving forward, right? And they are now consolidating under one judge, but we think, it would be good if the department would comply with federal law. There's also concerns on the beneficiary side. It appears that beneficiaries might not have been told all of the various financial requirements to move into courtyards at Waipoli. As we all know, it used NAHASDA funds, which have an 80% income requirement. And it appears that beneficiaries are not being told the full story of this leasehold opportunity when they are taking this opportunity. And I think that also creates further problems down the line if they are told one thing right now, and yet it does not actually meet federal requirements, right? So again, on both sides, we have residents and beneficiaries not being told the full obligations of what is, the fullness of what they are signing on to, and the Department of Hawaiian Homelands essentially breaking federal financing requirements. So again, I would just implore this commission to perhaps do an investigation, perhaps talk to Melissa Mann, who is the relocation specialist for Waipoli Courtyards and continues to apparently break federal law. So if there was an interest in bringing Melissa Mann to a commission meeting to explain why things are happening as they are, I think that would be helpful and beneficial. But just wanted to give people the update that the court cases are moving forward, and we are hoping that a judge on Kauai will be able to look independently at everything and say, okay, we got to do this the right way. Okay, thank you everybody for hearing this testimony, and we will continue to provide updates.
Okay, Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a consent agenda. Juan Garcia, D items, and Kalani Fronda, E items.
Morning, Chair, members
Morning.
of the commission. Again, Juan Garcia, Homestead Services Division Administrator. And HSD has 11 consent agenda items for your approval. D2 is approval of consent to mortgages. D3, approval of homestead application transfers and cancellations. D4, approval to certify applications of qualified applicants for the month of May 2026. D5, commission designation of successors to application rights. D6, approval of assignment of leasehold interests. D7, approval of amendment of leasehold interests. D8, approval to issue non-exclusive license for rooftop PV systems. D9 is the approval of a request to surrender a lease. D11, D12, and D13 are approval of the claimants as the designated successors to the respective leases.
Any questions on any of the items?
Question,
Commissioner Lasua?
was there anyone came forward on the D9 Kapa'a Care property?
Yes, D9 is not someone coming forward. The lessee is coming forward and requesting for the surrender of the lease. The department is requesting your approval to approve the lessee's request.
Okay.
And again, this property is in Kapakea. I suppose the department will need to determine whether that property, which is located next to the ocean, we recognize there's the issue of rising tides there, so we'll have to make an assessment whether or not that property will in fact be re-awarded. But it is, again, a request to surrender the lease.
Okay, thank you, Juan.
Yeah, we probably won't re-award it. Yeah, it's in a flood area or rising ocean. Any other questions on any of the items? Commissioners? If not, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Did you want to do the item E first? Hang on.
Aloha Chair Watson and Commissioners of the Hawaiian Homes Commission. For the record, Kalani Fronda, Acting Administrator at the Land Development Division, seeking approval on 2 items on the consent agenda for 6 lease awards before the Commission today. These items include 5 rent with option to purchase lease awards at Courtyards at Waipoli on Kauai, and 1 that's submitted as E1, and 1 residential lot lease award in the Kaumana subdivision on Hawaii Island, submitted as E2. The recommended action is to approve the awards of these 99-year leases and cancellation of applicants' residential applications upon conveyance of the lease awards. I'm available to answer any questions. Mahalo.
Okay, any questions on the E items, Commissioners? If not, entertain a motion to combine and move forward on those items D as well as items E. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
So.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Mahalo, Commissioners.
Okay, the next item, C2, request for $941,046 to support the modernization initiative. Deb? Beato and
Aloha Commissioners, aloha Chairman. For the record, Deborah Liviato, Modernization Project Manager, here to request approval of the fiscal year 2027 Department of Hawaiian Homeland's budget to support the DHHL System Modernization Initiative. The recommendation that the Hawaiian Home Commission approve $900,041.46 from the trust account T905-25 to support the Department of Hawaiian Homeland's System Modernization Initiative and authorize the chairman to shift fundings between budget line items in the overall budget between budget line items not to exceed 500,000.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second. Okay, discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Chair, I have a question.
Aye.
Commissioner Denoy,
On
Marfield.
middle,
Oh, Commissioner Arnett. Which one?
me.
Okay, it's Marfield.
Martha.
Yeah.
So on this submittal, item number 2, there's a couple of submittals that have the same verbiage around $500,000. Is that one lump sum or is that in addition to another $500,000? Right, because there's a couple, I think there's 2 that has, allowing the chairman to shift. So is it a total of 500,000 or is it 500,000 and the next one is 500,000?
Total.
Total, okay, mahalo.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Okay, next item, C3, approval of an advance from the Hawaiian Homes Trust Fund for up to a little over 25 million to finance 41 homes in EK2C. Lehua?
Aloha,
Okay.
Chair, members of the Hawaiian Homes Commission.
Aloha.
Aloha. So Lehua Kinilau Kano of the Nahasda Government Relations Program Manager. The recommended motion for the commission is that the Hawaiian Homes Commission approve an advance from the Hawaiian Homes Trust Fund for up to $25,232,000 to finance 41 homes in EK2C for Nahasda eligible households.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Chair, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to make sure that our audience knows that it's an advancement. And so there is every intention to replenish this account. And so I just wanted to make sure that that's on the record. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. That's a good point. Okay, next agenda item D10, Commission Designation of Successor Happy Kalekini. Juan? And I understand Kalekini is recusing himself.
Yes.
D10 is to, number 1, to approve the designation of Michael L. Kalikini as successor to residential lease number 6097, lot number 73, located in Kalamaula, Molokai, for the remaining term of the lease. Number 2, to approve and accept that Michael Kalikini is of no less than the required 25% Hawaiian ancestry. Number 3, to stipulate that should Michael Kalikini successorship rights and interest in the lease does not vest until he has signed the transfer through successorship of lease document. And if he does not sign all of the documents on or before August 31st, 2026, the deadline, that the commission's selection of Michael Kalikini as successor is automatically revoked. However, number 4, to authorize the department to extend the deadline up to 60 days for good cause. Number 5, to declare that if Michael Kalikini's selection as successor is revoked, then under Section 209 of the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act as amended, the land subject to the lease shall resume its status as unleased, and the department is authorized then to lease the land to another Native Hawaiian. And number 6 is to approve the amendment of the lease to incorporate the currently used terms, conditions, and covenants to the lease.
Okay, is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all those in favor
Residential lot lease number 6398, lot number 20, located in Waimanalo, Oahu, and consisting of approximately 7,340 square feet. Again, I asked Mr. Hoke to be present this morning as the lot went through some inspection process by the enforcement unit because of alleged lease violations, including failure to build and occupy, as well as the property being unkept as vegetations sort of took over the property. Notices were sent advising the lessee of the lease violations. Lessee was also advised of options with regards to Nahasda financing for financial assistance, as well as the option to transfer the lease to a qualified relative or a qualified beneficiary. The lessee has decided to surrender the lease, and should the commission approve the surrender, the property will then be awarded to a applicant on the Waimanalo area list.
Okay, is there a motion? Okay, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, E3.
Aloha Chair Watson, Commissioners
Aloha.
of Hawaiian Homes Commission. Once again, for the record, Kalani Franda, Acting Administrator with Land Development Division, seeking approval for item E3. Item E3 recommends that the Hawaiian Homes Commission approve the memoranda of agreement between the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and the University of Hawaii to provide research, planning, conceptual design, and course integrated services in support of DHHL housing and community development initiatives. These agreements will strengthen our partnership with the University of Hawaii by leveraging the expertise of faculty and students to help advance innovative solutions that support our beneficiaries and communities. Through this collaboration, DHHL will have access to technical assistance and planning support that can inform future housing, infrastructure, and community development efforts, while also providing meaningful hands-on learning opportunities for the next generation of professionals serving Hawaii. Also with me and available for any questions related to the subject matter is Elijah Davidson, Project Manager with the Land Development Division. Chair Watson, this concludes my presentation of this submittal, and we are available to answer any questions the
Elijah,
commission
did
may
you want to
have.
add anything?
Yeah, I'd like to add, I mentioned this before in a previous meeting, during informational, and it's really impactful, right? As many of us know, going into education is very crucial, and even Native Hawaiians within the program itself, University of Hawaii, I being one of them, super beneficial. And so having an opportunity to work with these students, I went to a couple of their presentations. They're already putting in some time into our projects here at the Department of Hawaiian Homeland, super enthusiastic, but I mean, really amazing. Even down to, we have actually an intern with us right now through the Heli Moa program. She comes from the School of Architecture, and she's super stoked. She's a beneficiary herself, and she's all for it, but really excited about this one. Yeah, thank you guys.
Any questions? If not,
Just a comment.
Commissioner Kaneko.
I had the opportunity to be in Waimanalo when you folks were presenting some plans for the area. You're working very closely with the beneficiaries, which is critical to that. You open up meetings, et cetera, et cetera. I like the opportunities that we have for our students to actually get into the business of getting our Hawaiians beneficiaries housed and put on property. So I support the initiative. I think it's very good for all of us together. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any other comments? If not, did we, let's entertain a motion.
So move.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Item E4 recommends that the Hawaiian Homes Commission authorize the chairman to execute a memorandum of agreement between the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and Hawaii Community Lending to establish a collaborative partnership that provides technical assistance, construction financing support, mortgage lending services, and related resources to the department's vacant land lessees seeking to construct homes on their Hawaiian homelands leaseholds. This partnership will help expand pathways to home construction by connecting beneficiaries with the expertise and financial resources needed to move from a vacant lot to a completed home, further advancing DHHL's commitment to increasing beneficiary access to housing opportunities. This memorandum of agreement will have no financial impact upon DHHL. Chair Watson, this concludes my testimony, and I'm available to answer any questions Commission may have.
Okay, let's get a motion on E4 first.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Commissioner Ornelas?
We don't have anyone from,
Not,
The group
not
today.
available right now.
okay. I just want to state that I'm in very strong support of this memorandum of agreement. I think that what they bring to the table from the beneficiary side is hugely advantageous. It's a very daunting task to be awarded a lot and then sit as an ohana and say, okay, what's next? And I think I've sat with Chanel and Jeff, and I think that their commitment to walking our beneficiaries through the entire process, beginning with the simple language of real estate, which if you look at the average age of our awardee is in their 60s, I believe. And so I'm so grateful for this. I really am in strong support of giving our beneficiaries as much handholding, explanation, support, and to really uplift and change their lens as beneficiaries, so that they don't feel like they're trying to walk this path alone. And I think that Hawaii Community Lending does a wonderful job with that. So I am in full support. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Do you have a motion to approve? Okay, it's been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, next agenda item F1. Approval of issue of right of entry to MEI for, let's see, Waimanalo lands. Frank and Andrew.
Aloha kaku.
Hello. Oh, not Andrew.
First item we bring before you today is the approval to issue a right of entry permit to MEI Corporation for use of DHHL lands in Kakaina, Waimanalo on the island of Oahu. Our recommendation to you today is that the Hawaiian Homes Commission approve the issuance of the right of entry permit for MEI for the issue of DHHL lands of Kakaina development in Waimanalo, Oahu, as a staging area for a portable toilet, storage of equipment, stockpiled, evacuated, and new aggregate material, and for parking their workers. The approval for the issuance for this ROE is subject to the 12 conditions that have been provided to you in your packet. A letter was dated April 14th of 2025 that requested a right of entry for the permit to access the parcel and has been awarded to this, and MEI has been awarded a contract. As mentioned before, the project requires use of an area suitable for staging and storing construction equipment and materials. And after review and consideration, the subject parcel has been identified as suitable within close proximity to the project sites. Along with me today, I have a member of your, Along with me today, I have a member of your land management division, Ashley Tablano. She's here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Can we get a motion first?
So moved.
Okay, any discussion or questions?
Just quick question. So we know that we're going to use, Ashley, thank you. We know that we're using the property to store equipment, et cetera, et cetera. Would you just explain the project that they're working on that requires this?
Sure. Aloha, Commissioners and Chair Watson. MEI Corporation has been contracted by the Land Development Division to complete sewer replacement improvements and road restoration at nearby lots or nearby areas in Waimanalo.
The benefit of which is,
I
mean, we're trying to improve the area out there and we're putting through projects that are important. I just don't want people to think that we're flippantly allowing a contractor to use the property. They're working
Oh, no, they
in
work
our community.
right.
Yes.
For our beneficiaries.
Yes. And that's why I support the proposal.
Any other
A quick question.
Commissioner
Chair.
Ornelas?
Let's see, the condition number 4, the monthly permit fee and processing and documentation fees shall be waived. Is the basis of that because they're doing a DHHL project?
Correct. And they've been contracted by Land Development Division.
Right. Okay. Uh-huh.
I have a question, Chair.
Commissioner Martha?
How big is this parcel?
Well, I believe it's like two acres.
2 acres.
Yes.
And then I think on the second page, we talk about Honolulu Habitat for Humanity is currently using the space, and so they're going to work out an agreement. Is there any role that we play as a department? Because I first see potentially if a disagreement comes about, how are we gonna mitigate that?
They've been in touch, and so far they've been able to work out logistically where they're going to set up and where each company is going to set up. And I don't foresee any issues occurring, but I'll definitely be there to mediate or help them in that case.
Wow.
Any other question? Let's see. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, F2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the record, Frank Hall, the Administrator for the Land Management Division. Second item we have before you today is the annual renewal of revocable permits on Oahu Island. We recommend that the Hawaiian Homes Commission approve the following actions. Renew all Oahu revocable permits as listed in Exhibits A and B, representing RPs on the island of Oahu that are compliant with permits as of June 5th, 2026. We also request that your annual renewal period shall be put forth as a month-to-month basis for up to 12 months, but no longer than June 30th of 2027. And finally, authorize the chairman to negotiate and set forth other terms and conditions that may be deemed appropriate and necessary. The submittal represents annual renewals for Oahu Island revocable permits only and which shall effectively expire on June 30th, 2026. Exhibit A references all revocable permits in Kalailoa, Nanakuli, and Waianae. Exhibit B references revocable permits in Waimanalo and Mapunapuna. The revocable permits are organized by location, acreage, and land use. While these permits generate income for the trust, their primary purpose is to allow DHHL to effectively manage its undeveloped lands through short-term dispositions. These lands are typically unsuitable for longer-term dispositions, such as homesteading or general leases that are fixed for long-term. DHHL's total RP land inventory on Oahu covers approximately 1,792 acres, or roughly 7% of DHHL's statewide RP inventory. However, RPs on Oahu bring in 94% of the total statewide RP income. Revocable permits assist in maintaining a presence on DHHL lands, vacant lands, by reducing costs associated with land management activities such as tree or brush cutting, fire suppression, prevention of trespassing on unencumbered properties. Permittees are required to assume responsibility for the land, carry insurance, indemnify the department, and maintain the property. Land Management Division respectfully recommends increasing the permit fees that meet the methodology as described under the revocable permit program. If approved, the current annual RP income on Oahu will increase by approximately 12%. I have with me here today Kalei Young, the supervising land agent for the Land Management Division, to answer any questions that you may have.
Good morning.
Morning, Kalei. You wanted to add anything?
No, I think this is a good,
Okay.
is a good summary. I'm just here for, I'm hopeful that, the commissioner asks questions on how we came up with, a 12% increase.
Okay, well, let's start with the commissioners then. We do have some public testimony that will follow afterwards.
Sure.
Let's see, any commissioners?
Question.
Commissioner Kalei. Commissioner Kalei.
Got it. Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Frank, hello, thank you guys. Just comments mostly. So all of the permittees that's on Exhibit A. One comment. I like the way the tables are laid out on Exhibit B, where it shows, whether they're it states that the permittees are beneficiaries. It doesn't show that on Exhibit A. Could we do that in future tables for Exhibit A?
Yes, you can. Thank you.
And then the other question I had on Exhibit A, there were two RPs that were stating that's non-compliant. And what's the next
Sure.
steps for those?
The first one that I pointed out, is significantly delinquent, but I want to point out that just before this meeting, well, we wrote letters. I tried to contact this tenant because it's always best to do a workout with these people, find out what's going on. And
Yeah,
although I
agree.
had some conversations with this tenant, recently, like in the past 2 to 3 months, I haven't been getting return calls, and I thought this person had just given up. However, just before the meeting, I was approached, and I have some things that I want to work out with him. There are some people who I know that are going to help this tenant out. Before I put him on the list for termination, he used to help out a lot of the things that Hawaiian Homes needed to do when it came to security, when it came to cleaning up and securing some of the warehouses in Mapunapuna, which were devastated by homeless. This person would drop everything and go out there and stay through the night, through all kinds of physical threats, and weld up doors and stay through the night, and essentially he would help us big time with security. So there are some other tenants who are contractors who do a lot of sub work with him. They are in support of him, and so I believe if you can give me 2 months, I'm not saying we're going to just cut him free. If you can get two months, I'll come before the commission again with which I think I have some things in mind, like huge down payments and a payment plan. I would like to try to work it out, just give him 2 months to work that out. So that's
Okay.
the first person who I recommended at one point to terminate. The other person, his violation was unauthorized subleasing. And I got an anonymous call just a few weeks ago about this. Someone telling me that he was subleasing. So I don't want to listen to rumors, so I went down myself and I approached a gentleman and I said, "Hey, brother, how much you paying your landlord?" And he says, "Hey, I cannot tell you the amount," but immediately he confirmed that he was subleasing. So I want, again, if you can give me to the August meeting to try to work something out, to have this guy, have him get rid of his subleasing. And the reason why I say that is this tenant won a bid. He's paying double the rate that other tenants are paying. He's paying 26 cents a square foot, which is really high.
Khalid, you're talking about Miller's, which one?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Miller.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Miller's Paving. He also, when he won his bid, wanted to do community work for Hawaiian Homes, and he volunteered to repave a street. I'm gonna guess it's about 400 yards long, maybe 30 feet wide. Big money would cost us to maintain it. So he already went and he already patched it. And so again, in my last conversation with him, he's willing to, give up his tenant, and to become compliant. But rather than terminate him now, I would like, because I just heard about his non-compliance. If you can give me to the August meeting to do a workout and verify that he's moved his tenant, I would like to keep him because it would help Hawaiian Homes tremendously, I believe, in repairing and widening that road and maintaining, as long as he has his RP active, he will continue to maintain that road. So,
Well, mahalo, Kale. Thank you. I mean, listen, you're on the front line, so I myself look towards you guys, knowing the lay of what's going on. One last question. On the Exhibit A, I didn't see any property inspection reports. Did I miss that? Like, you have property inspection reports for all of Exhibit
yeah,
B.
I'm sorry, I just sent pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to verify that I went out to the property and I looked around.
Okay. Any other
Okay.
commissioner question?
Yeah, question.
Commissioner Lasua?
Sure.
Item 504, is that the same Miller's Paving? RP?
Yeah, there were two of them. One was the reason for me recommending termination was delinquency. The other one I recommended because he violated his lease for having an unauthorized subtenant.
Okay,
Yeah, and that was Miller's Paving.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
no,
Chair,
I know.
they have two. I
Sure.
think that's what Commissioner Lasua is
Mhm.
referencing. One is compliant, one is not.
They were actually both non-compliant. Yeah, one was, had an unauthorized tenant, but I just found out about it just weeks, actually about a week before I wrote up this report. So I wanted to, say like, hey, okay, I found out about the subleasing. I approached him. I want to do a workout
Right.
which I think is a solid tenant. Yeah.
Are you saying that 504 and 605 are subletting?
No, the other one is behind on payment, but both of them,
If I may.
yeah, sure.
Excuse me, revocable permit 605 is not in compliance based on the subtenant. Permit 507 is based on non-payment.
No, I was asking about 504. The same company holds two land instruments.
Okay.
So but they're both owned by, or they're both
The paving company.
the Miller's Paving LLC?
Right.
So
So-
my
so-
question was, is 504 in compliance, but 605 not in
That's
compliance?
correct. The latest one that he bid on, as he's paying 26 cents per square foot on, is the parcel that he is subletting. Yeah, and I have a deeper explanation, which I'm happy to talk to you maybe afterwards, but when you hear it, I'm sure you're going to say, okay, that's, yes, there's some logic to why he's doing this, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Chair, I have one more question. Number 507, the delinquent one. Is it shown somewhere the amount of the delinquency?
Yeah, it's about 6 months worth.
6 months.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Not, want to call.
I have a question. Regarding 619.
Kalepa.
I have a question regarding 619. It says pending. It's the only one that I saw that was pending. What does that mean?
So I apologize for not bringing that one up. When this person won their bid to lease the land, we advertised it as coming with utilities. However, when we got onto the property, we found out that the Navy didn't have a meter or a way of billing this person separately from another tenant. So, and to do that, there was a whole bunch of electrical work that needs to be done. And what I'm trying to do right now is find out what that amount is. And for instance, if it costs $20,000, then I say, I tell you what, Hawaiian Homes, maybe we split that with you and you pay the other, or try to work it out, or we take that cost, work it back into the lease. But there's several options we can do, but I need to find out what that amount is. And the Navy right now is, well, the Navy Facilities Management Group is taking a little long to get that number to me. So we're trying to work that out with a private contractor right now. So yeah, that's why I said pending. So the lease isn't signed yet. And once we get that numbers, we get our numbers down, then we can move forward with a contract and then move forward with a lease. So that's what I meant by saying pending. My fault for not being more detailed.
Okay, thank you.
Is the guy on site?
I'm sorry?
Is he on site, Kanai?
Yes, he is. Yes.
Well, he's using the site, so.
Yes,
Apparently,
yes, he is.
even without the meter,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
using it.
Yeah. He's storing his stuff. He's paying half the rent.
Oh, he is paying
Yeah,
stuff.
he's paying half the rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have a couple people that want to also testify from the public. Patty Turia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm here speaking on supporting the RFP and locations in Mapunapuna, revocable permits. I'll support that. I have concerns on some of the RFP in Kalailoa. And actually the 3% increased rents for Kalailoa is extremely high all at once. A lot of these properties is just properties. They don't have electricity, they don't have water, they're just ground property there. So I see a lot of increases on some of these businesses here. And the reason I bring this up, because you have problems with businesses not being able to pay rent, and then they will sublease. And for instance, Miller's Paving, I brought it to the attention to Calais when I went out there to watch that they were subleasing their property, which under conditions on the RFP, it says no subleasing. So, you have a lot of the businesses out there in Kalailoa that are subleasing and trying to make their rent not to get evicted. The reason for their subleasing is also some of these guys that are leaving, they were on property at Kalailoa, and there's 10 acres over here. They were asked to be evicted off of the 10 acres and they didn't have any place to go. I'm hoping that this department, when you move someone off of this property from a
Thank you.
general lease, is to assist them to get into a property, a revocable permit. Either afford a property so they can conduct their business. So even with the 10 acres here, someone who's holding the general lease area, my concerns is, I went to take a look at that. It is a terrible mess on the trust land. They need to clean it up. When I say clean it up, it is an environmental assessment that needed to be done on that property, and it is held by general lease. The responsibility of people holding leases like that general lease is to be responsible. It's an agreement with the commission that you voted for to give them this general lease of 65 years or 45 years, is to make sure that the property, when it comes back to DHHL, it comes back clean. It is not our kuleana or the trust's kuleana to use their funding to clean this certain property. And so I hope that you would take a look at that. It is really important that we take a look at that. Also, on Facebook Marketplace, you have some of your vendors there having on Facebook Marketplace, I found out that they said they're open for rent. And these are people that have RFP permits that are publicity who wants to rent in Kalaeloa on their property. Again, they're not supposed to sublease. There's a lot of violations going on there, and I respect, Kalei doing his job and trying to work out with that. I really do. LMD, it's tough, but you have to be on top of it and consistent, or you have this big problem of vendors doing their own thing there and taking advantage of the trust. And as us as beneficiary, we are here to protect our trusts and to make sure the integrity and everything that is in compliance in there. I did want to speak on, if I can, may, Mr. Chairman, DH Welding, they are in compliance. Dono is here. He lost his phone. And I know Dono well. He's from Nanakuli. He was on Kalaeloa for over 20 years. He has a welding company. I went to go look for him and told him, you need to come out here. Come out here, talk to Kalei, come out here with, talk to the commission, because he was under non-compliance in this agenda. EC Trucking, our good friends, are going to be helping him to get, back to normal with his violations and stuff like that. So he's a native Hawaiian. We hate to see him leave. This is his first offense. So I asked the commission to take a look at that, work on a plan for him, and also to support our native Hawaiians from the west side. So thank you so very much, Mr. Chair, for this opportunity. Aloha.
Donald Diaz.
Morning, everybody. I had fallen into some hard times. I'm getting it together now. In Clay, I work for Clay Planning all over the island. Do a lot of locking people out or whatever we gotta do. That's just the amount of Mapuna Puna one. But things I just went back to work. I dislocated my hip. 6 months I was out. I just went back to work last week. I've been working 1 week now. So I'm trying to get everything together. EC Trucking is my sister-in-law. She said she would take care, help me out. If I had to come up to bring everything back to compliant. She's not here right now. She's in Washington. Really appreciate if you guys could help me out. Like they said, I've been there almost 20 years already in the same property. It's my first time having problems.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is give you some time.
Okay, thank you.
Work with Kalei, see if you can come up with a plan that we can live with, and
Yeah, okay.
it's all on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank
Any other question? Can we have a motion?
So move. Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, H1, approval of the fiscal year 2027 budget. Philip?
Hello, Chair Watson and Commissioners. Item H1 has two parts. Part 1 is to seek for your approval of the FY27 Department operating budget and to authorize Chair to shift fundings of expenditure between cost elements and funds as warranted, but not to exceed the total budget. And any shift in funding between cost element by the Chair shall not exceed $500,000. Part 2 is to seek for your approval of FY27 development budget and to allow amounts has not been encumbered in FY26 to be encumbered in FY27. Also, for the development budget items, allow the Chair's authority to shift funding between cost elements not to exceed $1 million. And I'm available for any questions.
Okay, we went through that workshop, so I think most of the questions were answered, but are there any additional questions from the commissioners?
Chair, may I?
Commissioner Ornelas?
Okay. Thank you, Philip, for your work on this again. Do we ever receive like, I guess I'm thinking from a corporate lens of where we look at a budget and there's, you know, how we performed last year, like all of the expenses, all of the money that was spent on each project, and then we compare that to plan? I mean, is that ever produced by your office?
I'm fairly new in these positions, but we have process to review our expenditure compared to our budgeted amount and to see where they stand. So that has been going on a quarterly basis, and we will continue to do a better job at that moving forward.
Well, I'm just asking because, for example, if you look at Kauai,
yes,
on page 1 of 3, attachment B, I didn't see anything for Waipoli.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't show up anywhere. So I was just wondering if is it just the way that budgets are produced in this department where it's more about what you're pledging to spend and then your budget requests versus past history? How does that compare to budget and then to plan going forward? Thank you.
Right, so specifically for Waipoli, I'll let Kalani talk about the projects, but from a department standpoint, an operating budget standpoint, we do variance reports, which is what Philip was saying, quarterly. So all we really do is we make sure that we're not running into the red. So we do compare from last year's budget to current on a quarterly basis to make sure that we're not overspending. And if we are overspending, then we do the budgeting process, which is, okay, what programs are underspending? We talk to them, are you going to spend this and that? And we also have to take into account where in the fiscal year we are, right? Because if it's really early, then there's a lot of wiggle room that we have as opposed to when we're in Q3 or Q4. As far as project variance track keeping, I'm going to let Kalani answer that because that's really his kuleana and LDD's kuleana, especially with the Acts 279, to kind of, I know that he reports to like the legislature and things like that as far as his metrics and tracking. So.
Okay, I just use that as an example, but I guess more specifically what I'm asking is there not like a monthly P&L? I mean, you mentioned quarterly. So there's
Not
no like
monthly.
monthly financial statement packet that gets distributed within the department?
We do monthly summary reports from Datamart, which is basically the state's tracking system for because there's encumbrances and then there's
Mhm.
expenditures. And so that system spits out a report that's basically raw data. And then we do have a management financial analyst who actually makes it make sense and then pushes it out per month internally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That answers my question. Kalani?
I was just going to mention, Deputy, could you also mention that, what you have before you are not encumbrances, it's actually asking for two things. One was approved by the legislature for our next fiscal year, and then also what's being asked of the trust.
Right.
So as far as some of those projects, the project funding has already been encumbered on a previous fiscal year, so it's available for us to spend on, but you won't see it in your budget. Now, from a metric standpoint, yes, we're building a system that is able to track not only where the funding comes from, because some projects you get maybe an appropriation from the legislature, then you get monies from federal and you get monies from et cetera, to be able to make the total budget on what's needed. And so that's how we track it. And then we track the completion of it. When is the start of development, construction? When is the end? When is our planning, design, construction? And then when do we turn over keys? So that we actually track it in the development division standpoint. And we're working with our modernization unit of what that looks like so we can be able to integrate everything into Salesforce.
Okay, and then along those lines, particularly related to Hanapepe, but any project, where, or is it built into each project, change orders? So unforeseen expenses that arise, is there a line item in the budget that serves as a placeholder or a catch-all for unforeseen?
You will not see that in the budget.
Okay.
You will see it in our financials.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's usually especially in construction contracts, there is usually a built-in contingency fee, and that's what that's a total amount, right? And a contingency fee is actually based on in the contracts.
I really appreciate your explanation.
Sure, I have a question. Just for clarity, in the submittal, we talk about operating budget, we talk about development budget, and going back to C2, this is overall department budget. So there's 500,000, 500,000, a million. Is that a total 2 million? Is that what I'm assuming, or is it?
It's the ability to, so earlier I had made comment, like sometimes people underspend and then we see a project overspend. So that ability to shift up to $500,000 between across. So it's not adding 500,000, it's the ability up to 500,000 to kind of make these these internal money movements, so to speak, so that we don't run into the red.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that explanation.
Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. H2. Approval of transfer of Hawaiian Home receipts, fund balance, end of fourth quarter, fiscal year 2026. Philip?
So item H2 is the quarterly transfer from Hawaiian Home receipt funds for the fourth quarter of FY26. We are seeking for your approval to transfer approximately 1.3 millions into the Hawaiian Home General Loans Funds.
Okay, is there a motion?
So move.
Okay, any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, C5, for information only, enforcement. David Oak.
Morning, Chair and Commissioners. David Hoke, Administrator for the Enforcement Unit. This is our monthly update, which covers the period of May 11th through June 7th. During this window, we had 8 requests for investigations, bringing the total for the calendar year to 65. Total number of reports submitted since our last submittal was 20, and total reports submitted for the calendar year is 141. We've had 2 official correspondences submitted sent to our beneficiaries since our last meeting. In this time frame, several big things that we dealt with. We had a meeting with SHIPD to try and figure out ways to expedite the process to get approval, because we find that's an area which kind of delays a lot of movement that needs to happen. So I'm glad that we started that conversation. We also participated in a disaster mitigation initiative meeting. And then we had a cleanup operation in Pana Eva on the Big Island on May 26th through the 28th. And then again, we continue our beneficiary engagement and send out our monthly updates and requests for any reports of serious criminal activity within the homesteads. And that is the end of my report and available for any questions.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Yeah,
Commissioner Freitas?
It's my last time to say thank you, brother, for you guys do, how hard you guys work, especially being from the Big Island and the issues. And I know I see Uncle Pat's emails a lot, and you're really prompt to addressing his concerns. So thank you very much for that, especially the Pond Ever one. I know that was on the verge of getting out of control. And I know it's not an easy Band-Aid situation. So thank you for putting together resources of your team and the community and making it happen.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah,
Commissioner,
question.
Lasso?
David, in regards to SHIP D, compliance rules during emergency responses, what kind of issues are those?
So kind of when we deal with a lot of homeless encampments, one of the biggest issues is it's overgrown, easy for them to hide in. And so one of the ways that we like to try and mitigate it is, in addition to removing them and all the belongings after, if we can kind of clear it out, have it a lot more open and visible. However, if you're breaking ground, then it's usually subject to SHIPD approval, and that process can be a little bit lengthy. So, we can push forward much quicker without having to get that approval, but at the same time, it's much easier for people to go right back in and hide in the brush again. So it's, kind of stuck in this weird place of how long do we wait for the approval or do we push forward? But we're hopeful that we can find some ways to try and expedite that process, because the dual approach is a lot more beneficial.
Yeah, and I know how important SHIP D is, but is there a way that the department can work with SHIP D and maybe hurrying the process?
Yeah, we're trying to navigate that right now. I think there's some possible red tape we got to jump through, but I'm glad that we had that initial meeting and opened that conversation, because I think there's certain situations, if we can get it expedited, that'd be much more helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Nellis?
So this idea of abandoned cars that, that plagues probably all of the homesteads, right? And they're not really abandoned. Some of them, people are living in them. Is there or is this an enforcement issue? The abandoned cars or people living in cars, especially like on vacant lots on Holo Beach Park, other lands in Wailua, where they clear it and there's all these cars that are there that were housing the people. Is that your kuleana?
It falls within the purview, I'd say. Yeah. So, as far as, the guys living in there, obviously, if they are trespassing, we want to get them out. But also, if they're homeless, see if there's a situation that, resources, if they're willing to accept services, make sure that's made available to them. But if they refuse, I do believe we have to take a firm position on that, because a lot of additional issues can arise from that. So a lot of fires, trash, drugs, criminal activity. So it's that weird area. As far as if it's kind of on the streets and things like that, it's case by case depending on where it's located. So we either have to we have to look it up. If that falls within DHHL's purview, then that would be us. If not, it would be the police. However, even if it does fall on the police, because it's within the homestead, we'd still ask, make the report, let us go at least talk to them, find out their situation. If, you know, they're down on their luck, okay, we'll send somebody to come talk to you. And then hopefully that helps. And if not, we ask the police to, you know, enforce that action.
And then like Anahola Beach Park last August, there was a sweep.
Mhm.
There was also, I forget the exact number of cars that were removed. And so the Kauai Police Department went through and tagged all the cars that they would remove.
Mhm.
Well, what was left are the cars that are kind of not towable, I guess,
Mhm.
that I understand the department financed and worked out a deal with a metal scrap metal company or something. So because of that, we have a group in Anahola that wants to start a abandoned car removal initiative. And so just for general knowledge, I wasn't sure if I would connect them with you.
Yeah, so with myself and probably Kaipo Duncan, because a lot of it's going to be the unencumbered land, but
Mhm.
if, you know, they can establish that, that'd be awesome, because that is an issue. It's a costly expense, and unfortunately, I don't think that issue is going to go away anytime soon. So that's something that we're going to be dealing with. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
David. Okay, the next item for information only, D1, HSD reports, Juan.
Aloha Commissioners.
Go
D1 is the monthly report, and again, it's for information only. Exhibit A is the homestead lease and application totals and monthly activity reports. Exhibit B is the loan delinquency report. Exhibit C and D is just notification to you that the department has issued guarantees to Hawaii Community Lending for a permanent loan as well as construction loans. If you have any questions, I'm available for any responses to your questions.
Okay, any question? Okay, thank you, Juan. F3, for information only, land stewardship and productive management for Humula.
Aloha, Frank Hall, Land Management Division. This is a for information only item. This is the land stewardship and productive management for Humu'ula on the island of Hawaii. To help evaluate a portion of Humu'ula land inventory, the department recently issued a 30-day limited entry, right of entry permit to Lazy L Ranch to conduct assessment activities. The information gathered during the period will be used to create a plan to support Lazy L Ranch LLC's request for a one-year right of entry permit for stewardship and productive land management activities over an area of approximately 7,170 acres. DHHL has been facing long-standing challenges on this parcel due to issues such as cattle rustling and illegal occupancy. Although enforcement actions have been taken, follow-up between DHHL and enforcement agencies has been inconsistent and at times and not as timely or effective as needed. At no fault of any party, the remote location and long emergency response times have made consistent enforcement difficult. To help address these issues, DHHL is looking at partnering with Lazy L Ranch LLC. The current 30-day limited right of entry is solely for assessment work, and the information collected will be used to develop a one-year land stewardship productive management plan. This plan will be presented to the Hawaiian Homes Commission at the next regularly scheduled monthly meeting for review and potential approval of a one-year right of entry permit.
Hello, Khan Albino, Acting Manager for the Income Properties Branch. We have Levi Rita, who represents Lazy L Ranch today. If any commissioners have any questions regarding the activities that's going to be undertaken over the next month.
Yeah, Levi, can you kind of share your background with the commission?
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Yeah, I did work with the department back in the Humula section of removing cattle in the past. We did take out about 500 head of cattle from that area, clean that up. And now looking forward to working with the department in the future for this up and coming project.
Maybe you can explain the process that you use in sharing and, especially with the beneficiaries.
Oh, yeah, so within the project, in my previous projects, I also did a 20% give back. So out of that, we took about $30,000 of meat and distributed to all the beneficiaries in Hilo, Waimea, and some in Kona and Kau in the previous contracts, and looking forward to doing that again.
So this one is just to take an assessment. You're not gonna be moving any cattle or anything like that, right?
No, this is pretty much it, 30 days of assessment. There has been a lot of damage and activities, you could say, on the mountain right now, and just trying to get it to get a better eye on it, on what's going on.
Commissioners, any questions?
Sure.
Commissioner Freitas?
Yeah, this is, even though I'm transitioning out of this position, this is still in my backyard. I would say from the time I got on the commission, there's been issues up there. I've been able to talk to Levi over the last few months. Just a side note, he was, after the floods in Wailua, he was the one that led the charge down there. Worked tirelessly to clean up that area with the community. Has a ranch for troubled youth. It helps rehabilitate them. He takes care of a lot of Native Hawaiians just in that capacity. So moving on to this capacity, it's different up there. It's not your average place. You need somebody who understands the topography of the place, but also the individuals involved in that situation. Like, I can't really go further into it. I think from your reputation, from what I've heard, you're the best guy for the job. So again, even though I'm leaving this spot, I definitely would like to work with you any way I can in the future. The question is a 30-day assessment. What's your thoughts on it? Judging by everything you know that's going on up there, what's your thought process on the 30 days?
Well, I think the 30 days will be good because at least there's so much activity going on. And there's gonna be a lot of changes that has to happen.
Okay.
And that way everybody within the department and the the community, at least everybody can get on the same page and moving forward to where in the future to help the Ana Mana Legacy Plan at least get moving in the right direction, because right now it's hard to move anywhere because so much wild cattle, so much holdbacks in a lot of things, with the gorse, the cattle, and just getting all of that under control and moving forward.
Okay. I would just say it's okay to work with, Kahana as well as David and Richard on how to move forward. I know there's some other potential things the department might venture into. And, we don't have, some of the things we don't really have control over and know when that's gonna come to fruition. But from now until then, do you feel like you can work with everybody and you can make an impact? Or what more resources, I guess, would you possibly need from our side?
Just the support from the staff, just when it comes to certain things, just moving forward will be, when the phone rings, it's, hey, what we need help with and how can we all work together.
I'm glad to say that in speaking with Levi recently, I mentioned to him about the partnerships we also have with our vendors, who's the gorse crushing, getting contacts with the HFD when you get fire up there, and how to address that, because they're gonna call us as soon as the fire starts going. We have contractors up there ready to go with bulldozers, ready to cut whenever they need to cut. So getting him in contact with those people also will be helpful.
So basically, it's an overall collaborative effort of all the different issues that are happening up on there. Okay, thank you, brother.
You're gonna use a lot of locals in the initiative?
Yes, a lot of, all of the kids that is working with me is from the Big Island. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just add perspective to this. This is a transitional initiative on the part of the department with the idea of the long-term disposition. We do have the Mauna Kea master plan, but we also have a long waiting list, both pastoral, ag, and what have you. And so one of the things that's really the holdup is current activities on some of these lands. We got to resolve that. We got to address it. It's been kicked down the road for quite a few years. And so this particular administration, in trying to get people off the wait list, we got to clean up that situation, not only in that area, but several other areas. And so we need to do it. We need to bring in the people that can do it. I think this is a step in the right direction. But the ultimate objective is to make lease awards, manage the lands in a better way. We're also looking at working with Kamehameha Schools as well as Parker Ranch so that we have a more comprehensive statewide plan, actually, especially in the cattle industry. And so it's about time, for the department to really take the bull by the horns and get it done. And so, I'm just glad that we have somebody that has a track record, that is working and will work with the local community over there, and also observe and implement what we did in the past, which I thought was a great idea in sharing the harvests of cattle and the processing and distribution of the meat to the community, our beneficiaries, a certain percentage, which in looking at your track record, you were the one of the two that actually did it and followed through, and actually, our beneficiaries, and from what I hear from the beneficiaries, they appreciated what you did. So any other questions or comment? Commissioner Kalekini?
Yeah, Chair, no, thanks, Kahala, Levi. No, I just wanted to comment, looking forward to this land stewardship and management plan. I mean, it's a long time coming, and really looking forward to discussing that and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other? If not, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, C4, outreach for legislative proposals, Ori? For information only.
Aloha na komikina o Oriana Leal ko inoa na Haza Government Relations Program Specialist, here to present for information only item C4, outreach for legislative proposals for 2027. Next slide, please. Annually, the Department of Hawaiian Homelands prepares and submits legislative proposals for inclusion in the governor's administrative package for the next session of the Hawaii State Legislature. For the 2027 package, the department is soliciting recommendations from the Hawaiian Homes Commission, DHHL staff, beneficiaries, other stakeholders, and the public. Next slide, please. Legislative proposals must be 1, sound public policy, 2, address the department's operations, programs, regulations, processes, budget, and/or resources, or 3, create a benefit or an advantage for the department, the trust, or trust beneficiaries, or otherwise correct aid deficiencies. Authors of proposals should keep in mind that amendments to the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act require review by the U.S. Department of the Interior and may require the consent of the U.S. Congress prior to implementation. Next slide, please. Staff will review and evaluate all legislative proposals and will determine which will be submitted for consideration and approval by the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Legislative proposals approved by the Hawaiian Homes Commission will move forward for consideration for the governor's administrative package. The governor may choose not to include certain or all legislative proposals submitted by the Hawaiian Homes Commission. But legislative proposals that are approved by the Hawaiian Homes Commission but not included in the governor's administrative package may be introduced independent of the administrative package. Next slide, please. Today starts solicitation, and all legislative proposals are due by July 24th. By August 17th, I'll have draft legislative proposals ready for the commission to review and edit. And by September 1st, we'll have an approved package. Next slide, please. To get involved, simply go to our website at dghl.hawaii.gov/government-relations, fill out the form that will be available soon, and click submit. And with that being said, I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Ori.
Mahalo.
Okay, next item, E5, again, for information only, land development.
Aloha again, for the record, Kalani Frando from Land Development Division. Here presenting
What is-
E5.
Go ahead on.
And I just wanted to share with you three things, and that is, we're going to be going over, not in detail, because we shared slides 1 through 11 with you already, and that was the CIP budget. But for the purpose of sharing with the public and also those that are here at the commission, what we had proposed, as well as secondly, is covering some of the external funds. We shared some of that with you in previous commission meetings. And last, to provide you an award schedule for the remainder of calendar year 2026. Next slide, please. And one more. So on page 3, you will see HB. So just to correct that, HB 1800, which requests totaling approximately 24.2 million. These funds support lot development projects at Nanakuli Homestead, Honolulu Phase 2, Keaukaha, and Honopepe Phase 2. Next slide, please. On this, for page 4, slide outlines approximately 3.885 million in new trust fund requests. Once again, these are monies that we're asking for, in a sense, gap funding for these particular projects. And so the projects that you see here, Mauna Lua is in Hawaii Kai. That's some due diligence work. I know there is a ask on what's the difference between geotech, other reports, and due diligence. They're all due diligence reports. Some of it is just identifying some of the specific needs that we need on these particular projects. I also wanted to highlight, for purpose of information, is the acquisition when we continue to move forward in Act 14, we need some funding for due diligence. And so that's what that is for. Next slide, please. Next slide. On page 5, you will, on page 6, you'll see 6 and 7. It's a total of 20 million from Act 250. And so these will identify a number of different projects that we have appropriated for repair and maintenance projects. So it varies from Papakolea. A lot of it you will see in regards to sewer repairs. Part of the reason for that is we're needing to upgrade the existing system to make sure that it meets the criteria of what the counties are looking for, so we can eventually turn over the management of these. Next slide. You see it at the bottom of the previous slide and the top of this one, a couple of areas that are related to Molokai. Part of the reason for that is we've had some impact from Konolo 2, the Konolo storms. And so these are addressing some of those items. And once again, items regarding sewer upgrades. Next slide, please. This is part of 1800, once again, HB 1800. And this is specifically 14.23 million in regards to what's going to be used for towards repair and maintenance projects. This is additional projects that we have that there is a need for sewer upgrades. Once again, one of the reasons for these is, as some of our aging communities have cesspools, we need to do a cesspool conversion. But before that happens, we also got to increase and improve our sewer systems. So that is addressing that. And the very bottom is the 6 dry stream beds maintenance. When we were on Molokai at the Molokai Commission meeting, we had shared with you what we're doing in response to Konolo on Molokai. We've also been working on the 6 dry stream beds, on not only improving the stream beds itself, but also upsizing the culverts. Next slide, please. And this is just the continuation of 1800 and various projects ranging from Hilo to Kauai on needs that we have in the repair and maintenance unit. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry, can you go back real quick? I just wanted to highlight a couple of things, and that is you see in parens the green fee. And so this is in regards to projects that we had proposed to the in regards to green fee funds. And so this is something that the department does on a, we're going to be doing this on a annual basis. And we've been fortunate to be awarded in the legislative process green fee funds that we will use towards Kilcost Sewer Improvements Master Plan, as well as the Piilani Waikikai ground maintenance. And this is for the fire brush maintenance in Kauai. Next slide, please. And this is new trust funds that we're asking, and this will go towards, once again, sewer improvements that we have throughout the Waianae coast. And then at the very bottom, a need that we've been addressing and working not only with the community, but also with the county is in Papakoleo. Now the slope maintenance. Next slide. Also with new trust funds, addressing a number of different areas from Lahaina to in different parts of Maui, and then ending in Waimea of the Big Island of Mokuokeawe. And that in particular, we had an area where there was some stream bank issues and erosions that have been happening, and we wanted to make sure that we had some funds that was available so we could work with the district office to be able to address those issues. Next slide, please. Want to also highlight for just sharing with the public in regards to external funds. We do our best to try to look for funding regardless of where it's at and where the different resources come from. Next slide. So we've been in the process of pursuing federal funds. As many have known, we've been working with a new administration in Capitol Hill. And so it's been a challenge to be able to pursue these types of funds. Fortunately for us, we had benefit, and you see on the very top, it's called the Regional Infrastructure Accelerator. We were awarded the only project that was awarded in Hawaii for transit-oriented development. So it's a transportation project. And these funds will go towards work that we're looking at, working with HART on the expansion of the rail and expansion of Skyline from where it's at right now to Kamakanali'i. There's a number of different areas. We've been working with various divisions within the department to see how we could also assist on pursuing federal funds. And these are the different applications that we've already submitted. We have a team that continues to look for opportunities that are out there and how we can pursue them. Fortunately for us, we have what's called WEP or WEP. This is something that we, next slide, please. I believe it's on there. Oh, can you go back? Sorry. So that WEP is 5 million that we need to spend up front, but we get it reimbursed from USDA. Next slide, please. From the County of Maui, we've gone through, submitted it for their budget and for this upcoming fiscal year. And this is working with the county. And what they've done was they put together from the county council a GT set aside. So far, we've accrued roughly about 40 million. Come 2030, when the program sunsets, we should have accrued roughly about 90 million. So these are monies that we use throughout the county of Maui, and it is a tri-island county. So we look not only on the island of Maui, but also on Molokai and Lanai on how we can utilize some of this funding. It's very important that we also look at areas where the county is doing existing projects so we can team up with them with this funds. Sometimes it's better for them to procure it, but we receive the benefits from it. An example for it is on the island of Lanai, where they have contracted a vendor to work on the shared infrastructure because it needs to pull power as well as water and wastewater past our new project that we're doing called phase 2 to their project. So it just made sense for us to work together. We've also used the emergency proclamation to procure and contract their developer, which we're very familiar with because we've worked with them on in West Hawaii. Next slide, please. And last slide. So this gives you a picture that you can reference on what's going to happen for the remainder of the year in regards to the award schedule. And so one of the big things that we had mentioned was we would like to do roughly about 7,000 to 8,000 within calendar years 25 and 26. What you see before you is roughly about 3,307 awards statewide. And on there are the dates that we will have not only orientation, but also the actual awards itself. And with that, it concludes updates of Land Development Division. Thank you very much.
Any questions, Commissioner? None. Thanks, Kalani.
Thank you, Kalani.
Okay, agenda item G1 for information only beneficiary meeting report regarding COPAIR. Billy?
Aloha, Commissioners. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. For the record, Lily Makaila, Acting Planning Program Manager, here today with item G1 for information only report on the meeting for Kaupe'a residential homestead for the common space. Mahalo, Michael. When you're ready, next slide. This is the project area. This is approximately a 9-acre parcel that is located in between the school and the existing Kaupe'a homestead across the street from Maluo High. This parcel was formerly known as Village 8 of the Kapolei, the Villages of Kapolei Master Plan. Next slide. The process that we went for this beneficiary meeting. So for this meeting, it's being referred to as a meeting as opposed to a consultation. The reason for that is because it does not currently trigger formal beneficiary consultation. The purpose for the meeting I'll cover in the next few slides. So the meeting was held in person on April 13th at Halepono'i. Approximately 2,892 postcards were mailed to beneficiaries, inclusive of applicants and lessees with zip codes 96706 and 96707, the adjacent zip codes. The presentation that was shared was prepared by Land Development Division and is included in Exhibit C. The meeting itself information was available on the department's website, linked here. There was also supplemental outreach that was conducted during the week of June 1st, 2026, which were telephone calls to the 61 project lessees that have already accepted their project leases for this parcel. Next slide. Participation initially in the April 13th meeting, as well as the 30-day comment period, included approximately 39 who signed in for the meeting, 24 of which self-identified as beneficiaries. There were an additional 5 or so that had attended in person but did not sign in, and there was fluctuated between 16 and 20 Zoom participants that were online that also did not self-identify as beneficiaries, though several were kind of recognized as beneficiaries and maybe self-identified in the sign-in box or in their comments. We also did a 30-day comment period as is standard. We had a variety of ways that folks could participate. All of the comments that we received were via the online comment form. A total of 9 participants, and a majority of those did self-identify as beneficiaries. Next slide. I pulled out a couple quotes which are included in the submittal. Of the discussions that took place at that beneficiary consultation, they kind of fell under 3 major themes. And I thought that these comments that were shared definitely captured the essence of the mana'o under each of those kind of major themes. So regarding community space and community identity, Folks shared housing is very important for our community and for all the lessees that are coming down. But I feel like us in Kaupe'a have been sacrificing increments over the years. We support housing, but we also need gathering places, cultural preservation, homesteading opportunities, and economic development. That land represents all of those things. The next major comment had to do with community space and long-standing expectations. Everybody knew there was going to be a park there. That was part of what people talked about when they moved into the community. Families expected that there would be a place for children to play and for neighbors to gather. And the last major theme had to do with communication and beneficiary engagement. The whole thing comes down to communication. If we had been kept informed throughout the process and involved earlier, I think this conversation would be very different today. Next slide. We did end up conducting additional outreach. And of course, the catalyst for that is because of the low number of participation from actual project lessees, the folks who were planning to reside on that parcel. So majority of the participation that we had gotten in the online comment form, as well as the in-person meeting, was our existing homesteaders. And so the summary of comments was from kind of that meeting for folks, but we also did want to do a secondary touch to reach out directly to the project lessees, the 61 that are intending to live on the parcel. We did calls during the week of June 1st. Of those that we called, 11 did provide a verbal response. 3 engaged in conversation with us, but didn't feel comfortable sharing any mana'o. And the rest we were able to reach out to, but we weren't able to get a hold of them. And then that second table shows the mana'o that folks shared. 6 shared a preference for community or open space, 2 for playground, 1 for visitor parking, and 1 actually suggested a dog park. Next slide. Some of the staff observations that we wanted to share for the record, there were a lot of concerns that were expressed, but there was consistent support for reducing the wait list. The how of doing so, I think, is where most of our beneficiaries may have differed. Also, expectations for a park or gathering space on the Makai side of the busy Kapolei Parkway that's accessible to Kaupe'a homesteaders was a theme that came up over and over again. There were beneficiary concerns. They were less about opposition to housing development in general and more about the kind of perceived loss of community amenities or this idea of, what they were promised and what they were expecting when they originally accepted their leases in Kaupe'a. And then there was also a desire for greater beneficiary involvement in decisions that affect long-term character and livability for the homesteads. Now, I do have to say that this effort of asking community for input on a common space is a newer effort. Typically, we don't always go out and reach out with our beneficiaries to get that type of engagement and get those types of comments. And so this is, a part of our added efforts to better our communication. I think for this one, it's a little bit challenged because of the land tenure history and the past expectations. Next slide. This is one of the concepts that was presented in the presentation. It's concept 1, and it shared kind of the plan for mailbox space, adjacent parking, and then the remaining space to be open space with maybe area suitable for picnic tables or seating, or able to be a multi-purpose space to host outdoor gatherings. Next slide. As far as next steps, Planning Office, based on this feedback, does recommend development of open community space area for recreational uses and to serve as a PICO for the new development. It is our understanding that lessees will not be responsible for the operation and maintenance for the first 15 years per the presentation from the project managers. And the recommendation is that we follow up with our homesteaders once they've been able to move in and reside in the homestead, possibly at year 10, to contemplate homesteader preferences for long-term operation and maintenance. I did listen to the previous comments, and I'm sure there will be other comments from our other homesteaders. I apologize for not including slides on this, but when I did some research into this particular 9-acre parcel, the land tenure history of this is interesting. You know, all of our lands, Hawaiian homelands in Kapolei and Kalailoa, are not a part of the original Hawaiian homelands inventory. These lands were transferred to the department as a result of Act 14 or as a result of the Hawaiian Homelands Recovery Act. So these were brought into the department's inventory based on the 20,000 acres that had been illegally transferred out of the Hawaiian Homelands inventory by past administrations or state or federal leadership. So the parcels that we have in Kapolei were actually previously planned. I believe the original environmental impact statement for Village of Kapolei Association was done in 1988. And so there were plans for all the different parcels, and portions of that being transferred to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands did come in later. So this was after Act 14, and we did homesteading in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And so that, I think, is part of the trouble as far as the expectations and this feeling of, you know, miscommunication and misunderstanding. Now, this parcel was a part of an area where we have Kaupe'a homestead currently. It was part of an area identified as Village 8, Village 7, and Village 8. Now, majority of that area was transferred to the department in the late 90s, early 2000s for our homesteads. However, this 9-acre parcel was withheld as a part of Village 8 by state of Hawaii, and it was under management by HHFDC, Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation. Now, in the old plans, the master plan, it did contemplate community uses and a rec center in this area. And so I do not discount the accuracy of the memory of our beneficiaries and homesteaders, that is the information that they were given when they made their selection for Kaupe'a. I think what would have been, you know, looking back, hindsight being 2020, this particular parcel was outside of the department's control up until 2022, when the transfer was actually made to the department. So it was held by HHFDC. In the 20-teens, HHFDC was contemplating a potential transfer to DHHL. They had worked on an MOU. That did not go through. It was not signed, it was not executed. And then between 2018 and 2022, of course, the pandemic happened, things slowed down for some time, and then we became aware, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, that HHFDC was preparing to put out a bid for development. And they had gotten some approvals to put in sewer line and infrastructure to support 70 homes being built on this 9-acre parcel. And at that time, the department moved to see if we could transfer those lands and that plan development from HHFDC to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. And the perspective of the commission and the department at that time was, if this area would be developed into residential homesteading, that our preference would be that it be to serve our Oahu beneficiaries and applicants on the wait list. So these lands came into the department in 2022. They were transferred into the department, and we have been working since then on this idea of developing homestead. So again, apologies that that I didn't have that articulated in a slide, but I did want to kind of verbally share that mana'o based on some of the previous comments that we had heard. Next slide. Okay, I think that's all from me. I'm happy to take any questions. Mahalo.
Yeah, Lily, on the acquisition, I guess based on what you just said, at the time, that particular parcel, which was originally laid out by HHFDC for recreational areas, that was a parcel that was withheld, and subsequently, they were looking to, I guess, develop 70 homes there.
Yes, that's correct. We saw
Right.
that HHFDC in 2021 or 2022 was looking at changing the land use for that parcel and proceeding. They had gotten approvals for infrastructure to support 70 homes.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't also a situation where they needed an easement from us, which I believe Joby had, or not, or actually she gave it to them, but the department subsequently withheld it, so they couldn't develop it. Is that correct?
Correct. That was a part of the kind of work that the department did in order to be able to get that parcel transferred into our inventory.
And the idea with HHFDC was to build single-family homes for non-Hawaiians within our homesteading community. Is that correct?
Correct. It would have been under HHFDC's land, so similar to the gentry development between Malu'o High and the department and the surrounding villages of Kapolei that are not in the homestead. That 9-acre parcel would have been for housing development, affordable housing development, but not for our homesteaders.
Yeah, and the only way that we were able to not only prevent it, but acquire it was the use of our Act 279, the 600 million, which I believe we spent, what, 8-point-something million to acquire those lands so that it would become part of our inventory. But in the use of those funds, am I correct in saying it's restricted in that we could only use those funds with the purpose of reducing our waiting lists, which required constructing homes that would result in awards to people on our wait lists and get a reduction of the wait list numbers. Is that correct?
Correct, Chair.
Okay. Okay. Any questions of Lily from any of the commissioners?
Very well done.
Okay. Again, this is only for information. There's no action item involved, but we do have some public testimony. Let's see. Why don't we start with Kaliko? I'm sorry, Heiki.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I please have a moment of your time?
Sure.
I'm Kaliko Hagi, born and raised in Nanakuli.
You gotta use the mic.
Oh,
There you go.
okay,
Just kind of move it forward.
fine.
Thank you.
I'm Kaliko Hagi. I was born and raised in the Nanakuli Hawaiian homestead, and I serve my community under Kamaki Kanahele, as well as the State Council of Hawaiian Homesteads under Tony Sang. So I'm very familiar with the HHLs kicking the can down the road. But anyway, I'm here for the Kaupea 2, because when we chose this lot, we didn't know that there was going to be a Kaupea 2. I deferred phase 1, phase 2 to phase 3, primarily for that park. I live directly kitty corner to the park. So we weren't informed that HD or HCDC had the property. We were under the impression that DHHL did all the you know, the financials and all of that. So almost 20 years after we signed our lease, we get notified they're going to build another Kaupea 2 project, 50, 60 homes, when we were told that that was supposed to be our park. In fact, it's on our site map that we were supposed to have a park and a recreation center. And then we find out after we move in that I gotta walk 3 blocks down the road to get my mail, because DHHL did a deal with the postmaster. We don't have post offices, but they gave us post office boxes for a couple of years. So we need a place to gather, as they said, and we need a place to get our mail. We pay taxes. I mean, come on. Born and raised in Nanakuli. We have 5 parks, we have 5 schools, we have economic development. Took us 20, 30 years to get that. Camp Andrews. Appreciate that. But I'm very well aware of working with DHHL, and we can come together for the benefits of us and not for the benefit of some non-Hawaiians. And then we were told that this park that's going to be in this area, we cannot access that. So we waited 15, 20 years. That causes me harm, that causes my family harm, and that causes generational harm. Because if anything, I would have deferred to someplace else. But when DHHL tells us they're going to do something and they do something else, it causes us harm. And we've had generations of harm caused to us. So I just want to say that our board, in fact, our prior board and our current board does not support this, this new, well, the park. They want the new development to build 50, 60 homes. If the people that live in the community, we have to go to Kapolei, Eva, Waipio, and all over the creation to take our kids to play. Why should we? And we pay dues. I pay $65. I paid almost $10,000 in dues to villages of Kapolei. Can you guys get us out of that? Instead of giving money to non-Hawaiians, lessees, all over the place, concentrate on what you did, what you delivered to us in the 2008 meeting. I appreciate your time and consideration in this matter, okay? We don't want the 60 homes, we want the park.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next testifier, Ivalani McBride. Okay. Well, take it.
Hello, Chair and Commissioners. Ivalani Lebon McBrayer, current Kaupea Homestead. For the record, the current Kaupea Board did not take a position on the 9-acre parcel because they're new. But I can speak previously from the previous board with Michelle Kahane, second with me. We was always in support of the park. And just to give you a little background, from 2005 to 2022, we was promised a park. And what I want to show for the record, as you've seen in what was stated, 60,000 is paid for VOCA, for unpromised land, which was 74 homes. So Kaupea, through our trust, is paying 60,000 for homes that wasn't built. In 2005, DHHL brought from HHFDC that parcel of Kaupea for $10. It's in a quick deed. In 2022, I believe out of Act 279 money, 8.5 million was used to go ahead and buy the 9-acre parcel. So today, the community was, all these promises of a park and rec. Ekekula I Kalahui is about self-determination. It is about economic development. It's about cultural preservation. It's about homesteading and self-governance. And if you take that parcel, homes are important. But for us to gather today in the second city of Kapolei, we ask that the department, Lily has been working with us, but previous administration has not. And like we said, these are the problems. I can tell you today at our last meeting, the community came out. We want a park. I want a park. I'm the only one of the board that I believe that is supportive. Because Walter Walker, who spoke earlier today, he was on the committee and many others. They have stopped another housing because Joby allowed the access to the road. We said, no, we wanted a rec and community, and there was a handful of us that actually stopped the project. Today, I hope that you can see the hearts of the Kaupea community, that the gathering place is who we are. Our pico is to the land. And the department, whether administration change, the promises to us from 05 when we went to Kamehameha to pick our lot should remain. And I believe together we will stand and fight for what we believe is ours in self-determination. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Next testifier, Julia Makaila.
Aloha Commissioners and Chairman. I didn't plan a speech here today. I was just coming to support our park. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Danielle De Lima.
Aloha Chair and Commissioners, thank you so much for your time. I just want to start with saying that, you know, our hearts also go out to those who were awarded the 61, you know, future homeowners. We do acknowledge and recognize that. What was a surprise to me in that April 13th meeting was that, of course, we all got the notification to attend this meeting. But, you know, being presented 3 different designs and how this park would play out, while also notifying us in that meeting that our keiki would have no access to the park, just felt like a slap in the face. I also feel like, you know, as a result of promises made and expectations, there seems to be a constant theme where it's like Hawaiians being pitted against Hawaiians, and I just feel like that's unfair. Of course, I understand what the chair was saying about the Act 279 funds and how we must, you know, it's required that that must go towards building homes. I think what I would suggest, especially when I look at the next steps, is that there should be a next step to meet and figure out how we can settle both. If there's no money within the trust, then maybe that should be said to put the park there. I'm not sure of what the recommendations or what the funding looks like on your guys' end, but obviously it's clear that we must build the homes, that much is true, but we also must make right on our promises for the park. So I would, you know, just suggest that that should be part of next step as we went through Lily's presentation, which was great. And I love that she captured a lot of the sentiment in the room. That's very much appreciated, but I'm not, the disconnect for me is in the next steps. If there was an overwhelming sentiment that this is what the community is asking for, why isn't there a next step to try and address us as the current homesteaders? The other thing is, you know, I have 2 young keiki. I see them play in the road. I see some of the other kids play in the road. They almost get hit. If you guys ever been to the homestead, you know that the roadways are very narrow. There's another issue where the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, like right in front of our yards. That's also an issue, right? So if one of our kids get hit while a car is driving 20 miles per hour, they can die. But that's not illegal. They're still traveling, you know, according to the legal speed limit. So that's also an issue. And all that to say is that our keiki just needs somewhere to play. They are playing in the roadways. They're, you know, the park walking across that busy highway where there's already a lot of accidents. There's no marked crosswalk on one of the corners for them to get across the street. That's not feasible for our kids to walk across the park. We're working, so it's not always easy for us to say, hey, go walk across the park, you know, just 2 miles down, you guys should be fine. That doesn't make sense for us. And once the lands are gone, they're gone, right? There are other solutions that I think Walter and other people have brought up, relocating some of the projects. So we are all for the housing, but please, what we're asking is that this commission just put us in your next steps to consult with us. We met with Bill Isla as the former board. He didn't promise us anything, but he basically agreed, and it seemed like that they would come back to us. No one ever came and consulted the former board as far as now we're all the way down the road and the plans are developed. We've been asking for updates and we haven't got it. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Teresa Walker.
Aloha, my name is Teresa Walker, fellow Kalpea homesteader. From the beginning, 2007, my family and I are here. We've been working with the board since 10 years ago when my youngest was in my belly. Very pregnant, going around, getting support from the community for this park that was promised to us and working really hard to get somewhere. So far, we feel like we've gotten nowhere. And we just want you folks to work with us. We're not asking for the entire piece back. We realize homes are important for others as well. But we do need the park and rec for our communities and our homes. And we're just gonna continue to fight and hopefully work with you folks to get that for our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jermaine Taguchi.
Hi, Jermaine Taguchi. Good morning. I didn't come prepared for testimony, but because of the other stories and what I've heard on our last meeting and things, I'm here to also support what the CalPER, the committees, the Park and Rec committees is doing, right, what they have been doing, but what didn't happen. And where it's already done, you know, I born and raised Papakolea, Waianae Valley. I had at least Princess Kahanu Estate, so I understand about the storage, the boat storage and the community center. And when I saw the big lot, because now I'm a CalPERS resident there, when I saw that open lot, I was like, what happened? Where is that park? They should have that. It should be for the community. So, but what's done is done in the past. All we can do is move forward. So what we want to do is to make sure that you guys listen to the committee and move forward on what can be done and what needs to be done to see and, you know, relocate. We want the lessees, but, you know, see if we can relocate them on another property that Hawaiian Homelands do have, and that we can turn around and see what else we can be done. And I know a lot of it had to say is what the HSFDC said was to be for residential, but, you know, I mean, again, we can work through that. You folks, you know, have all the authority and things to what we can do to make it happen and make it work. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Is that it? Okay. So, what should I say? Okay, the commission will convene in an executive session pursuant to section 92-5A4 HRS to consult with its attorneys on questions and issues pertaining to the commission's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities in the Ryan versus Watson case. I have a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay. Okay, the commission is gonna reconvene to adjourn at 12:45 PM. Thank you. The one first. Okay. Okay, the commission is reconvening from its executive session. The commission reviewed and discussed its duties and responsibilities related to Ryan versus Watson. Okay. Let's see, we've come to the end of today's agenda. Mahalo for your patience and for participating. This is, there is no DHHL community meeting this month. Please also note that next month's commission meeting was moved to July 27th and 28th. The DHHL community meeting will be on the 27th at Kwananakoa Middle School. Tomorrow's agenda starts at 9:30 a.m. with public testimony, followed by the J agenda. Mahalo for attending. We are recessed for the day. Hello.
Hello, everybody.